Good evening. Welcome to the this edition of the Evening Review. My name is Jemima Beekers, your host this evening. Now, many Namibians are sitting with bated breaths, waiting for the finalization of the SME Bank liquidation. Many beneficiaries have not, many of the bank's clients are still waiting to receive money that they have lost in the liquidation. And for us to understand what is happening, we brought in Daniel Nyaungwa, who will talk to us about his experience. Thank you for joining us, Daniel.
Oh, thank you very much, Jemima. Good evening.
So, Daniel, can you just give us a brief overview of what your experience was with the SME Bank before it was liquidated?
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity for having me here. Let me just put perhaps the whole thing into perspective. SME Bank was got into provisional liquidation way back in the year 2017. And I think the final liquidation was done in 2018. So that's when the bank closed.
Yes.
So from the time the bank was closed, still the SME depositors, we have not got all our money. So as I am here, I'm representing the small depositors. The small depositors are those people who are not investors of the bank. For example, we were just clients of the bank. So that is the group of people I'm representing. Yes. So our experience from 2017, we were told that the bank is closed. You have to wait for liquidation to get your money. By then, we got, I think initially, we got only 25,000. Each person was given.
How much did you invest? I mean, how much did you deposit?
Yeah, of course, we are so many.
Yeah.
So various people deposited various amounts. We have some people who have got 2 million small businesses. We have some with 50,000, some with, it's a lot of figures.
Yes,
yes, it varies.
So what is the feeling now that these, then they talk about 5%, 5 cents return on $100 and then 25%. If you say some people that have put in as little as $5,000.
Yes, you see let's go to the structure of the bank itself. The structure of the bank consisted of the owners of the bank. There was a Metropolitan Bank of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
It owned 30% of the bank.
Yes.
Then we had World Eagle Investments. They had 5%. Then our government, the government of Republic of Namibia, through the Bank of Namibia, they owned 65%.
Yes.
So what happened is in liquidation, when the bank is being liquidated, the liquidators will collect whatever is remaining.
Yes.
Then share amongst all of you, the investors, the depositors.
Yes.
So what we were told was that you are only going to get 25 cents of every dollar you have put in this bank.
Yes.
So for example, if you had $1, you are only going to get 25 cents. So every dollar you have, you only get 25 cents. But so far, we were only paid 15 cents per every dollar. But now we were told yesterday to say no, it's no longer 25 cents, it's only 20 cents. So we are only remaining with 5 cents per every dollar for us to be given. So this is, I think yesterday when we had meeting with the liquidators, it came as a very heavy blow.
Yeah.
Because we are talking of money for people who deposited money, who did not invest in the bank. We are just deposited, we are not investors, we don't own the bank.
How did it affect or impact your personal life?
I think all of us, it impacted us in different ways as depositors. Remember, we were just coming out of the depression of 2016. There was economic depression then when America was having problems. So we were trying to build our companies. So many companies closed. Personally, we had to retrench because most of our company money was in SME Bank, which we had reserved for salaries. Many people, they lost houses. People lost cars. Children going to school, they no longer going to school. I have one who was having in one of the private schools here, but now they have to go to Katutura to a public school because all the money was closed in SME Bank.
So what actions have you taken so far to get your money, to retrieve your money? Have you been able to sit with government to have this conversation?
Government will not come and sit with us according to the Liquidation Act, liquidation law.
Yes.
We are not lawyers, so we don't know exactly. We're just told to wait for the liquidators.
Yes.
So the liquidators will say, no, we are collecting money. Just wait. We'll see when the court will be, when the court sits, they will decide exactly how much we'll get from what we have collected.
The advice that you were given yesterday when you spoke to the liquidators was that you should reach out to the finance minister.
We can't take it into that context. He suggested.
Yes.
I don't think he said that's what exactly we have to do.
Yes.
But what we are only saying is that government has got 65% of shareholding. So the government has got something to do
Yes.
with our money.
Yes.
Yes. They are the owners of the bank, the majority shareholder. So we expect the government is our government.
So
this is our government. We expect them to pay us back just the money to come say, guys, come onto the table, you small depositors, you guys with small monies, because most of they are single mothers, they are widows. There are people who are selling in the street. There are people who we have one lady there, a widow, who used to go to Angola to sell those second-hand things, second-hand material. Going there, as soon as the money was closed, she could not do that anymore. She had to lose her place. Her kids could not go to school. So such kind of an effect, we are saying government, these are poor people who are trying to build their businesses, who are trying to build their own lives. They did not go to the bank to borrow money. They went to put money. In the government, we are saying, is the owner of the bank, can we please have money for all these people, or these people must at least get something out of this.
So it is in that context that I've asked whether you have reached out to government representatives at the end of the day.
We were not able to.
Why not?
We were advised never to. We wait is pre-judice. What do they say in law? Pre-judice. Wait for the process to take its own course. So we have been waiting. But now, because it's now 10 years. I think this year is the 9th anniversary of our money closed in SME Bank. So people are saying we can't wait anymore.
What does that mean?
What is happening is that we are told we are collecting this money, and now they say they collected 130 something million. On 130 million, we're expecting to be paid our money, but all of a sudden we're told no, 100 million was spent in collecting 130 million. So we did not deposit our money for them to pay for the process. Or are they appointed for the process, to pay the process or to collect our money and give us to us? That's what we are not understanding.
So can you share with us, how do you feel about the way the liquidators, Bruni and McLaren, is handling this process?
I used to trust them, but I don't think any of us to trust them anymore.
Why?
Because what that costs so much to collect 130 million. Then you tell us the cost of collecting 130 million was 100 million. Then we are not getting anything, we are getting 5 cents. What was that which was costing that much to come to 100 million? We were also told that there is money in the Middle East. In Dubai, there is 68 million or so.
65.
But they can't collect it because it's more expensive to collect it. So we have to leave it there. So
how do you feel about that?
I think we are also going to change our focus to the liquidators. Yes, we no longer trust them as small depositors.
And when you say you want to change your focus to them, what does that mean?
It means that they have also something to answer in terms of our money. It means we are going to go to them and say, guys, you collected 100 million and you only gave me, out of my 1 million, you only gave me 60 million. But you yourself, how much did you earn in the process? So, focusing on them, we are going also to request the breakdown of all those costs. Because 100 million, surely. Out of 130, we need to see the breakdown. This is what we are saying.
Have you asked them before how much they've spent?
We have not, they have not given us platform chance. Yesterday we had to force our way into that. But I think we are going to continue engaging them.
Was yesterday's meeting the first meeting you had with the
No, we had
liquidators?
meetings with before, but they promised that they are going to give us our money on such a date. Like last year, we told January, we are going to get our money.
And then what happened in January?
We never got anything.
And the excuse
until
was?
now. They have not collected enough to distribute. That was the reason.
So this money in the Middle East, how do you feel about this money, the fact that it must sit there and that you cannot afford to get it out?
Feeling will not help us. We can feel angry like where I am now. We are so angry because there are people suffering there. Some people, they already died leaving their money because they had stress, they had whatever, they died. So when we are trying to engage government, we believe that maybe there are some bilateral relations in which we can be able to have that money, not at that cost they are telling us.
We're going for a short break and then we'll be back right soon.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
Welcome back. Now, if you've just joined us, we have Daniel Nyaungwa in studio today to talk about the SME bank, the liquidation, and how it is affecting them as depositors. Before we went on a break, you were talking about the money that is still in the Middle East that was used to buy equipment. There were also other equipment that was apparently bought. What do you think should government have done during the time that the bank was still in running?
Yeah, thank you very much, Jamina. Let me break it down like this. I like their saying, if you go to the motto of SME Bank, the way they were saying, let your money make more money with the bank that knows how. Eh? Let your money make more money with the bank that knows how. You think all of us as clients, you say, these are going to grow our money. But that bank, everyone who sees what is happening, from the beginning, it was just a scheme of those Zimbabweans to simply come and steal money. So,
why do you say that?
Because there are many reasons.
Yes.
There are indications. We can see even the way the government established the SME bank. You know, all the parastatals, we have the Acts of Parliament, which establishes that.
Yes.
For example, Air Namibia, we had Act on Air Namibia. Even if we go to UNAM, there's an Act. But there was no Act for SME Bank. So exactly what was going to govern the SME Bank? So this was a problem. The looting started as soon as those Zimbabweans went into office. That Enoch Kamshinda. Enoch Kamshinda had a history from Zimbabwe. That Metropolitan Bank, it looted all the Zimbabweans' money, and he ran away to South Africa then, and he came here. So did our government do any due diligence? And the running of the bank itself, there was virtually no Namibian there. HR manager was a Zimbabwean. So the setup and the governance of the bank itself, we wonder how Bank of Namibia approved such a structure in Namibia. So this is the first point. So when they started looting, I think they transferred how much, 200 million or something to South Africa. They said they are going to invest at Mamepo Capital. Mm-hmm. It was 200 million, almost 200 million. Out of that 200 million, when the liquidators followed, they only discovered that Mamepo only get 32 million. The rest was directly deposited into these guys' accounts. The looting. And that Mamepo Capital, they went to deposit in VBS. You know the problems of VBS. VBS was also being liquidated. How can you go and deposit money in a bank which is liquidating? So those are the issues. So that was grand looting from the onset. And the 65 million you are talking about, they allege that it went to buy what? A Caterpillar. How can you buy a Caterpillar and apparently based in West Africa? And the money is lying in Dubai. It was grand theft. And all the documents allegedly they were forged. So our government, whoever was in charge from Bank of Namibia, from Ministry of Finance, they are responsible for this.
So who do you think should take the fall for this?
You can't really say who. It is a system perhaps which failed. We used to talk of the depositor insurance for banks. We don't have that in Namibia. The one which is known as depositor, so that if the bank fails, what happens? The depositor will get their money, but we don't have it. So the system failed. That's what I can say.
So as depositors, have you not seen any red flags during the time the bank was still operational?
We did. It was too late. Indeed, it was too late. And the well-connected people, they were told in advance, and they took their money. The time we rushed to go and take our money, they were limiting the amount of money you can get. That was the issue. They would say, no, you can't take 10,000, just take 2,000. Until the bank was closed.
And you didn't speak to the finance minister at the time. You didn't know. You didn't realize.
There was no such a route which you can take according to the liquidation law. It's only liquidators.
But I mean, as aggrieved citizens,
we did some demonstrations. We did whatever we could do that time. We did marching, but we were told, no, you wait for the law to take its course. So we could not do anything as small depositors.
Would you say you have lost faith in the banking system in Namibia?
I hope Bank of Namibia is doing everything in order to control banks. But yes, to a certain extent, we have lost. One of our guys, I think you spoke to him yesterday, said, no, me I'm no longer keeping money in the bank. Once I raise a certain amount of money, I'll go and buy a property. I don't want to put my money in these banks anymore. So faith has been lost.
There were young people as well. How many young people are part of this?
We are still, you see what happened was we were about 20,000 small depositors. Luckily, those ones who had 25,000 and below, they got their money. But those ones who were having 25,000 and above, they did not get their money. So the young people mostly, we still have, a lot of them. By that time, it's 10 years. Some were young now, they are old. Yeah, they are old. But we are talking of plus or minus 2,000 young people at the moment, owned by the bank. And we have also old people who cannot work anymore. They need that money.
So how many, yesterday when you spoke to us, you talked about the lack of phones, that some of these people cannot keep in contact with you. Some of these people, the small depositors are on the farms or they are all over the place. How are you keeping contact?
It's a challenge. You understand somebody in Nyaungwa, someone in the rural areas who's selling. They don't know how to, they don't have WhatsApp, for example. So basically what they do is they call me directly or call one of our people who are trying to organize ourselves to get this money. But it's very difficult.
And it's costly probably.
Yes.
So how are you consolidating all these complaints, and how are you, I would imagine some people have lost faith, they're no longer following up. Is that a reality?
Yeah, some people, they said, for me, I'm done. There's nothing I can do. Some people, they are contemplating violence. Some, they want to do, some they are calling for us to go in the street, call these activists and go in the street and shame the government, things like that. We said, no, let's take this process. Let's talk to the government to hear our position first before we embark in all these other ways of addressing this issue.
So during yesterday's meeting, you asked whether you could directly sue the government. What are you looking at to hold government accountable as a 65% shareholder?
According to the Act, we can't. Liquidation Act, we can't. But only what people are suggesting is that we have to request the government to forfeit its share. You see, when the money is collected, the government is also taking its part. So if they can forfeit that part which they take and make sure the depositors get their money, I think we'll be happy with that for now.
And yesterday they were talking about 5% on a dollar. How would that change if government is to forfeit its money? Have you been told?
At least it will increase with another 5 cents. Apparently, that's what the liquidator said. If the government can forfeit its share, then we can get at least 5 cents more per every dollar.
So, what does that mean for you right now? That I've put 1 million in.
It's as you can see as of now, everybody is so disappointed in the system. Everybody is so angry with the system because people lost everything, as I'm talking about. So the 5 cents is actually an insult. To us, it's an insult. What we are saying, we want all the money.
Because you're not going to get all of the money back if that is it.
If the government can intervene, we can get all our money. Why not? They are the owners of the bank. It's our government. They can give us the money.
And how do you expect government to intervene?
Yeah, of course, to number one, we say they can forfeit their share. Number two, they can also intervene and allocate, I think there are some kind of budgets, which they make sure that all these poor people have been paid their money.
So you haven't also reached out to politicians to influence the process?
Wherever we went, I even personally went to Parliament. I even personally talked to even the world people whom I know, the politicians. No, they said we have to wait for the process. It's liquidation. They will tell you even government's money is there. We can do nothing. Even the big parties like SWAPO's money is there. We can do nothing. So what do you want me to do for you?
That's what they told you.
That's what they said. So that's where we are.
Thank you very much for joining us, Daniel. It was very
All right, thank you very much. I simply want to say thank you for the opportunity. I hope you assist us to publicize. Many people, they think we got our money already.
Yes.
We have not get our money. Some will say, you're still talking about this money? Did you get that money? People are suffering. Old women who are sitting Kapana, then Ongwediva. You know, these people, they had branches. One branch in Nyaungwa, in Ongwediva.
Yes.
One in La France. Then we have this one. Then another one was in Rundu.
Yes.
So it was strategically placed for these, for small businesses. It was strategic to loot, just to loot. So what we are saying is we want government to come to the table and say, okay, guys, you lost money, you are citizens, poor citizens, we are just going to give you all your money. That's simply what we are waiting for.
All right.
And that's what we are going to try to negotiate with the government.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.
All right. Thank you very much for having me.